All I saw was potato peels on his back of a life that can only be described as the aftermath of a necrophiliac. The price exactly could slaven the slaves of the cotton industry. Twice as hard as the gold rush. The Eureka stockade of an Aussie. Of Aussie. Because broccoli doesn't stink your armpits, it makes you strong. Goals to rip Smurfettes and Gargamel like a bomb. No, but nuts to have the solace touch of death and promise the pardon of the ways like Commissars in Cabaret. Romanesque starving for a fescue in Masquerade. Chest infection of Dolly Parton that you can't explain. Artificial insemination untouched, lesser of cross-contamination charts, butthole susceptible. You got scabies and eczema from rats. Not to mention the rabies and hendra from bats. Monetary flashpoint from people that wouldn't bust a sweat for you. And they're the first people to call out the seamlessness of cutthroat hysteria. They're the first people to line you up and identify you. And they're the last one to admit that they were scared and tried to psych you, combining the italics of a broadcaster reality to the hallmarks of gravity, and sees a world of insanity, sees a world within insanity, sees a world tortured as sanity, unfamiliar cylindrical patterns and shaft analysis, entry points of harpoons or swinging swords that have ravaged us. Indication backed off, talons, fathoms, notches, box unified and tied integration that can't crack the lock of supremacy justification. Backed off like knife and fork multiplication. Duplicity. Kevorkian taught independently suicide a man. Queen Victoria was seen as Jack the Ripper. Empire extended to man. Expanded like bolts within literacy. Philosophy graded your attention span. Die with cockroaches and millipedes. I like the fabrication of every carbon footstep. I like the colour of your elongated hood wrap. Cosmographically built to last. Wolf whistled like an asshole to their migrant shores. Walls. The pied pipe of the cause. The pies just become that little bit more important for morning. But they consider a dog's breakfast, but you call it, but you know that it's awesome. But you can force it as awesome. They got a circumcised penis and you still got your foreskin. Was it to be tortured within? You never knew the fucking cause of it. For every child born, it's seen as a world for every child born, it begins as a without. A legless excuse. Sit on the 6 o'clock news and tell you they never were fed with a silver spoon. That's like stateless criminals from Europe that show up to the land down under with no shoes on their feet, nothing in their suitcase but a landmine and a jumper. No shoes and nothing in the suitcase but a landmine and a jumper. They want everything you got, but if it's an empire, they'd make you rot. On a non-expeditious island, magpies roam the fucking lot, where ISIS terror forces combined the Bank of England with the Sheik of Arabia to weigh up Armenia against the gods. If you got a pot belly to be a domestic spot cleaner, to weigh up the box separatism of Yastafat's excellent Aussie dream fear. Polyglot, monastery preacher, political leader, Congress preacher, monastery preacher, political leader, Congress preacher, polyglot, to alleviate the balance of hogwash. You see is a bit pinkier, but grotty like the mean streak and fibre of electricity wires. And then pop goes the weasel to fulfill your natural desires. More than it windscreens, but the streaks on your windshield wipers. More than it windscreens, but the streaks of windshield wipers. Shielding your life like dreams sift through the blindness like dreams that sift through the sunlight, the blindness on lying on sideswiping capabilities. Cut out the price like an insignificant faking claims to voice signature verification device. Why they ring you up and beg. If beggars are beggars, telecommunication is like abstinence, a thin edge of the pledge. detonates like cabbage in the face of essays to blow their nose with it. It's like pièce de résistance in the post to peristalsis. If you don't know, humans are broke, busted and disgusted and sore, sad and sorry for preaching about Jehovah's kids. What is it to understand Mayday and SOS? The galaxy is full of scum and you were never supposed to notice. Your calculators have magnets, so does pussies. Same way you stare at a cat playing with a string ball. It crumbles like cookies till time's warps fully. Pertinent in time. Woolly mammoth. Woolly jumper. Woolly bully. No. Woolly mammoth. Woolly jumper. No. Woolly mammoth. Woolly bully. Woolly jumper. You're a child bully. You took me and 10 trillion angels for a sick joke. Thought we wouldn't have 10,000 left to slit your throat. Line you up like goats fed milk through a syringe. Line you up like goats. Line you up like goats with milk fed to your mouth. Fed through a syringe to your mouth. Your ball's broken, you're limping and pitching as a dildo in your own house. Nothing nicer than the couch. Music from your excellency. And the definition of candela doesn't change much from luminous efficacy. Definition of candela isn't unchanged from luminous efficacy. It derivates the proof that you're special. Cowards are in private compounds like the military, silver spoon feeding their vegetables. You're lucky to have a candle when you spoon feed your vegetables. If a flux capacitor can time travel, then you'd sit flat on your ass until you find tobacco. Sit flat on your fat ass until you find tobacco. Cybernized like action G.I. Joe in a man's life like Jack Sparrow. To comply with the dreams of faggot seamen. Like a silver-skinned back gorilla met the pirates of the Caribbean. You knew the vanilla essence was black, so when you scraped it, you shoved it in your bloated hole like a polar bear during time lapse. You pin back your synapse and hope that you woke up from it. The primary lapse can't decide between yogurt and custard to dribble off your chin. Into a bowl where cane toad, custard and banana fucking panned it out's where it all begins. Or where cane toad, custard and banana is where it all begins. Fruitcake meant you were big, but you were born from a small seed. Like dessert after dinner, think about it. Afford a seat, but the smaller you are, you can't talk about having to force feed the past from the present like an orchard from a flawless desert. Cordially when you bow or curtsy. Empower me when you burst through line breaks. Pow! It hurts me like hours in the night of winter without boiling water systems towering over the planet like the sensitivity cauldronism spinning proudfully. Louder by the seeping wombs of those that scream for their fucking skin back. Audi 5000 but can't pick up the riffraff. Plymouth stock, Plymouth liquid, Plymouth rock, Plymouth district, Plymouth notch, Plymouth hype, Plymouth Guinness, Plymouth write your copy, get you right like syllabus line gobbies. Pint you slip into your eyeballs. Like Odyssey's mind walks where life begins. Vitality fights all vitamins and minerals flicking in the back of your eyelids. Flings it like a shark that lost its dorsal fin. And flat on your back every day of your life wondering when the torture begins. Like you're supposed to see your life through the eyes of... Why are you supposed to see your mistakes through somebody else's eyes? To learn from your own mistakes and not the lies of snakes, fakes and tigered hypocrites in the debate. Been fallen fake and injury like the sourced interest of millipedes and inches and meters and crept on centimeters. Debenture claims, heat seekers, cement pavement, meat cleavers, treatments beyond people eaters, keeping it up like moans when you fuck. But are sympathetic to the rape and the death of the dead ghost of Joan of Arc. With the silent sweat, the whirlpool turns to a contact lens. And the ocean becomes your transmission to lose contact with your friends. Replace that with this next line. Catch situation like a shovel-nosed wombat during gong smack trends. A gong smack trend. The future become the present. In contact with your friends like Intel computers in the desert. You can get stupider by the second, but understand the nanny state was just a atomic chamber that ruptured in the blood, in a blood-filled blister. Situation tucked as a kip and soak theory. Nipped at your ankle, shaved the face for the paper, looked at the laser and said thank you. Blank checked you like a pool blank checked you like a whirlpool of rain. Provided a pooled blank space modification that knocked your brain to a sensation far beyond the universe and polarization. Polarity signals fought to the death of the quest for reputation. Second guessing the exclamation mark, Mark Twain for a joke. Waited for Alfred Nobel to blast your ass. Scope greater than a crystal ball in a glass. See the outside world like a mass-targeted reprehensible little girl. Like the tune to the verse was fooled in the plot and scheme. Blotted the allotment and not wanted what you started with. In the first place, tortures, screams, dirt on your face, artificial insemination to believe. Kamikaze disaster to wear your heart on your sleeve. Participation in the principle of power. Indignation of seeing the desert blossom to a flower. Significant to cower from the contract. The syllables don't add up to the wrong track. Either you're good at what you do, wrapped into magnets, 2x2, and a 3-point aviation reverse landed in Kathmandu. Himalayas haven't withstanded anything greater than 8.2 or 8.3 on a Richter scale. Cyclonic winds become a category 6 before you're impaled on a fucking cross. Yeah, Count Dracula's shin bone in the mail. Lucky your floor with sand so you can get off. On an imagination greater than seeing a dog flying across the lino with his tongue fucking like a fan belt and a fucking like a fan belt with the fucking during a rim shot or something. See a wiger inside of a lemon. See the wiger in the side of a lemon. Make the light glow with a dependency hyper. Gas in a cylinder cigarette lighter. Hope that you chill on the blow by blow. So the power makes you brighter. Tighter than the enlightenment. Grows on you like a cipher. Get mindless to a motor's ingenuity. Enticed it like a rotisserie oven. Orchestra in a symphony. For rotary engines got you covered. Metal to the metal. Centipedes aren't mental. Neither is centipedes to infinity. Industries like dental chips that chipped your teeth. You clip the kleptomaniac of your interdependent hype. To rewrite history, existential to the grief. Politely seeing your way out of this life. Like bars behind prison. To escape it in the horizon. Only ever found it in the distance. Nobody ever saw you behind it. You walk back to where your mistakes started. Without dying, that's like dying without living. It's just corrupted. Like rhythms that got you cuffed in a hype. Touched you for your bluster and excise. 3 cents to every 100. And you wonder what a government heist is. Since lightning and thunder's been dumped in. You stand alongside the incline of keeping it between the lines. The time wasn't wearing thin for people that have lived the thick of it. Intertwined like citizens sick of the monetary interest. Giving a shit about lice and parasites. Like satellites in the distance. Ain't nice to talk about for the same fucking price. Soccer posts have nets. What's a world wide web? You're playing the world game. You're caught up in a sledge like Santa Claus. Chain reaction. Chalk's white but it lessens the evaluation. Slightly exaggerated irrational detail. Carbonized with the gases of fact and sea snails. You seize a nail and stick it to a wall or a floor of a temple. You need is 1 in your chest and 4 more to your fucking temple. Mental. Cortex in a pellet pencil, I suppose. Love ever first began like a 30-cent ice cream cones. Silence of the critics drove us to crazy. like burping gravy out of your nose shaft to breastfeed your babies, but patiently wait for the ozone layer to pierce, to cave the hemisphere of your brain, to dribble out of your ears, pick it up like a steering wheel and do it again and again. The revelation becomes all clear. Birth pains to see it reveal. The meal that you pay a price for psychologically, the money that adds up in your purse, and scientific hypothesis, isometrics that are but beep in your hip pocket, to page it to a person with a PhD or a master or a doctorate, the head nod from a dolphin or a dog, the posthumous pass from the opportunists, the monarchy, and the copper SWAT syndrome that saw government, department or agencies dodge job your capabilities, drag you in like escapee to an escapist. Either it's fucking make-believe or you're taken for shit like digital matrix. Inhibition to take your coat off and get comfortable. Take a pistol from their holster under their coat, shoot you like a scapegoat so you can die of jungle fungal in this fucking space code. Contained in the copious measures, you're better off pedaling 70 kilometers an hour on a BMX bike till you broke the pedals. Hate their torture devices, because I heard in time that blood's going to fill up the valley of Jehoshaphat to the horses' bridles, pointed out by a hierarchy and have you fingered the moisture of their vagina. Side effects only add up to paranoid schizophrenia in your vagina. It's got way too many side effects. The hard meat's soft, but if I can't see the slime dribbling down your legs, I'll chime in with my cock. Use the clothes pegs to sign off. When rigor mortis sets in, put a peg on my nose and wipe my coughs with a nice cloth. The price you pay to become a spacewalker. To become educated to understand alligators to little babies and walkers. You know? Delay the awesomeness any further in more than 2,000 years or 11,000 since the fertility crescent put everything in order. The axis has already caught ya. Life is primitive and yours is primeval, like the sacrilege of the former. Iconoclasts amount to a 6-man and a bench warmer that couldn't fuck themselves to make the starting 5. It's a 3-dimensional star. Scorches your bloody mind. The thinking of playing a harp. The entry point shatters your fucking mind. Unfamiliar from cylindrical patterns and shaft analysis. Entry point of the harpoons and all swinging swords that are ravenous. Indication backed off. Most people wouldn't bust a sweat. But in the sands of time, ancestors have already broke their fucking neck. Didn't sign up for nothing other than save other people's kids. Storm a house and save a family from from fire. Overcome by smoke inhalation to fulfill the state legislative desire. Manageable resources. Rather hand you out a pamphlet or a flyer. And treat you with condiments and sauces and plastic case sausages on bread. To say that they're people persons, but nah, they're a little social country club that wish that you were fucking dead. So that they wouldn't have to pick their bum for fleas and scratch their back for fucking spare fucking vouchers to bloody Mickey D's. To watch every tax dollar they take from you bounce active away from where the dreamcast reality's been taken away. There's 6 colours to the rainbow. Oh no, I'm not even alive today. Treat the park bench like a halo or a Shiloh system around a fucking power pole. The Invictus of a disabled fucking Olympian, giving it all that it's got. Oh, Even the broken toe from Bolo Young to resurrect and blow up the fucking spot. Baltimore to Kokomo. Yeah, not one stiff shit about the career record of Rocky Marciano or Jack Dempsey. You call it a tomato, others call it a tomato. There's dementia. If you don't know dementia praecox, that's like asking a fucking Alzheimer's patient about weight loss. Socks off if it won't knock it off. It's a proximity to watch you get kicked in the cogs, to watch spinach dribble out of your nods that you give to other people at a table. Just rocking off to sleep while they pick their nasal. Favour navel oranges. Talk about Clockwork Brown, but not double strength lozenges to take away the sound that, you know, oh, I'm still sick. But in the movie Predator, the Predator was Jimmy Hoffa. Don't you know that shit? So which one of you two towelheads is the albino child of Idi Amin's Scottish wish dishwasher? Yeah, suck a dick. Maybe you were impregnated by by a conqueror, or failed to add a little bit of cane toad stomach to your special spaghetti bologna. Messages behind the glass have bottlenecked this generation. You have no respect for people past or present, so you will never escape with them. Never escape them. He's got you in a hammock, lapping it up. You got a handicap that's never been up to it. You've seen bird shit land on your cockpit, but never been tertiary educated in a mosh pit. Rhinoceros asked out in duck sauce at an Evanescence concert. Or butterfly, the clots in your head for... Butterfly, the clots with stitches in your head. So Apocalypse had reverse fiber optics. Effervescence, lead, uranium, radioactivity, plutonic love between two friends. Obi-Wan Kenobi and the return of the living dead. Yeah.